Okay, well, we're actually getting the jump here because you got lucky enough the other night to watch Lone Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to discuss that movie, and like you said on a previous video, I may not ever have to watch this movie. So, but who knows? It depends. I got some spare time. So, this movie actually came out for a short Oscar run at the end of
Christmas.
last year, around Christmas. Actually, Christmas Day. I know because we actually had a lot of people that were calling about it.
Huh.
And there's a big banner we have with Marky Mark on it, and it says
it's been in there forever.
January 10th at the very bottom. So you're
All
actually...
TV spots say that too.
Exactly. So you're getting this video a complete week ahead. So if we like this video or don't like this video, then you're going to find out well in advance whether you need to spend your money on it. Either next Thursday night when it's running either 10 o'clock or midnight shows, or next Friday and beyond. So, AJ, how about it?
Alright. As you saw in the trailer, and in many advertisements, this is the true story of what was called Operation Red Wings. Where you have 4 Navy SEALs, I think there were. Sorry, I'm not like a huge expert on the branches. I'm like oddly enough, with Mark Wahlberg, I'm like the kid in Renaissance Man. Where they were, you know what scene I'm talking about if you've seen it. And they were these 4 really close friends who were in the well, they're all brothers because that's how that works.
Yeah.
And they're on this mission that Eric Bana sends them on, where they have to. I saw it a few days ago. I gotta remember now. They were sent in to kill this guy that's been like killing Marines. But while they're on this mission and they're like hiding out, they get found by a few guys coming through with goats, who are actually Taliban. So they have this moral dilemma where they have them captured and tied up, and the question is whether or not to let them go. Of course, the right thing to do prevailed, and they let them go, and they basically came back with an army. So, and then, yeah, I'm going to throw this out there right now. If you know the true story, which a lot of people who are excited for this movie probably do, if you don't know the story, the spoiler's right there in the title. So, this movie is actually in 2 parts. The first part is everything that goes down, what I just said. And the second part is Wahlberg's character. And he is, who was a real guy, like they actually, consulted with. And how he was rescued by a villager. That hates the Taliban. The guy actually says, fuck Taliban. So, our cast, the 4 guys are Wahlberg, Taylor Kitsch, Emile Hirsch, and Ben Foster, which is a good lineup.
Definitely.
And on the ground you have Eric Bana calling the shots, basically. And this was basically Peter Berg's passion project. Like he I think I read he was looking into, he wrote, I guess Marcus wrote a memoir or something, and Peter Berg read this memoir in one sitting while on break from Hancock. And from then on, he knew he had to make this movie. And it took him that many years. Hancock was 2008. But Universal told him he had to make Battleship first. So he basically said, as long as you let me make Lone Survivor, fine, I'll make Battleship. I don't know if he wanted to make Battleship or if it was thrown at him, but he wanted to make Lone Survivor first, and Universal said, no, you gotta make Battleship first. But he did what he had to do to get this made. And it might sound really cliche, but what this movie does a great job of is making these 4 guys relatable and sympathetic. And they do use the cliches. But the trouble is in movies like this, it's hard to talk about the cliches because these aren't just really well-developed characters. These were real people with real families and real fiancés and wives, etc. So it's hard to, say that, but I don't have to use it I don't have to worry about that using it as a critique because they do it so well that it doesn't, like when you see, Ben Foster IMing his wife, or you see Taylor Kitsch saying, I gotta figure out my wife's wedding present, I gotta get her Arabian horses, which he keeps calling Arabic horses. It doesn't feel like a cliche. It feels like them being the real people that they were. So much so that you see, there's this funny, it's brought up a couple of times. Taylor Kitsch's character loves Anchorman. And you see in his, like, sleeping quarter or whatever that he has a picture of, an autographed picture from Ron Burgundy.
And not from Will Ferrell, but from Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, it's signed Ron.
That's awesome.
And it's, later on, they're, like, preparing for battle, and he says something like, I just want to go home, get in bed, and watch Anchorman. It's probably worth noting that the movie is really violent and bloody, but, like, obviously it's a war movie, but, like, we get to this, like, one of the opening scenes is a decapitation, but we don't actually see the decapitation, we just see a machete going up and down and blood just splattering everywhere. But the disturbing thing is how real it feels. Like I was talking about, there's over-the-top movies like Tarantino movies, where the blood is really over-the-top and unrealistic, and that makes it enjoyable. But here you're not supposed to enjoy the violence, so it's really realistic and disturbing and gritty. And there's a particular scene where Wahlberg falls down a hill, and he's got the bone sticking out of his leg that he's got to force back. And it's even more disturbing that this realistic, gritty violence happens to these guys that seem like guys you would hang out with in a normal environment. So basically what I'm saying is Peter Berg did a very fucking great job when he did this. And it was clear, you could tell it was a passion project for sure. But the thing that he did, talking about how the realism and the fact that these were real people, is, I'm not quite sure, well here's the thing, this is what I commend him for, because he knew how to do this. I would have been lost if this movie were on me, but, you gotta maintain that sensitivity to those people, because these people still have living families that are gonna see this. He went to, the main guys betrayed, Peter Berg went to their parents' houses and talked to them all. Especially I heard one specifically where he talked to the dad of, the character that Emile Hirsch plays. And you've got to maintain a sensitivity, but at the same time, the tricky thing about making a movie like this is that you are making a movie, which means you're going to have to entertain people and make it, a movie. But he's able to do it with, like I said, you do fear some insensitivity there, because the movie is exciting and suspenseful, but it's always going to loom over your head, this shit really happened and it was a horrible, horrible thing. But he does it so skillfully, even with that in mind, and knowing the ending ahead of time, because we actually start at the end and then circle back around. He manages to make it suspenseful. So, a lot of talent there. Peter Berg is a very underrated director for sure, and he's great with action. And he has a cameo. That scene in the trailer where they're all standing there and the guy from the Hunger Games that has to do the speech, he's in there and he's like one of the guys calling out. So yeah, that was the tricky thing here, was no matter how tragic an event you're making a movie about, the movie has to be entertaining and exciting, and at times suspenseful. And this movie manages to do that while being respectful and sensitive and, I guess, honoring them. And it's not without humor either, because the guys were, like the bridesmaid scene in the trailer, there's a scene, after all the shit has gone down, they still manage to put a smile on your face with this funny scene where, Wahlberg is being taken care of by this villager, and he has a kid, but obviously the kid doesn't speak English, and the guy can barely speak English, like maybe one or two words, and Wahlberg has this huge piece of shrapnel in his leg, and he needs a knife to get it out. So he tells the kid, I need a knife, I need you to go get me a knife. and the kid leaves, and he comes back holding a live duck. And Wahlberg's just like, that's not a knife, that's a fucking duck. And then he tries to explain to the guy, he's like, no, I need a knife. So the guy takes the knife, and then he starts to cut the starts to cut the duck's head off, because that's what he thinks Wahlberg wants. But no, the duck is spared.
Good.
And there is this, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. There's a couple of scenes. Speaking of the brutality of the scene, that scene you see in the trailer where they fall down a hill, and it's like a really long scene, that happens twice. And that's actually, people get shot, you know, like up close and personal, people get shot from a distance. Just people getting blown away repeatedly. There's decapitations. There's an almost decapitation, and you see that it's kind of disturbing because you see, it's just like this giant log that they rest the head on before they cut it off. And when they're dragging him there, you see the blood from where the last one was. But honestly, one of the most brutal scenes of the movie is probably these scenes of them falling down hills where they smash into trees and smash into rocks and smash into bushes and pretty much anything else there is. Talking about cliches, I meant to mention this and forgot. There is one of those moments where it's just, you would feel, it's great that they got the actors they did, especially even Taylor Kitsch. Like, people like to give Taylor Kitsch shit, but he's really good here, and everybody is. And of course, you know, Emile Hirsch and Ben Foster, you know, they know what they're doing acting-wise. Emile Hirsch gets some shit too, but I think he's great. And Ben Foster's got a unanimous, everybody loves Ben Foster. Ben Foster has this scene. It's that scene that's in every one of these movies where the end could be approaching, and so he's got to tell Wahlberg to relay the message to his wife how much he loves her. Which could be really cheesy and really just, really. But Ben Foster has the way he delivers this scene. The cliche is there, but it's real. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would definitely seek this movie out. Just be careful because it is brutal. And a lot of people were afraid when they saw the trailer that it was basically just like a 2-hour recruitment video, like a recruitment advertisement. I could totally see where you'd get that idea from the trailer. But the movie doesn't feel like that at all. It doesn't, you know. It definitely tells you, you know, this is a very honorable thing to do, and, you know, it's a very, that courage is extremely admirable, and, you know, just the whole thing. But it doesn't, like,
beat you over the head with it.
Yeah, and it also gives you that, it gives you, like, a lot of movies like the glorified, like it's just blowing shit up, fuck yeah. But this is one of those movies that shows you the honorable side, and it also shows you just how much of a toll it can take on you. Because a lot of those America fuck yeah movies don't take that route. So, yeah. I'm not saying it's pushing you away from recruiting or anything. I'm just saying it shows you the ugly sides. Like that critic in the trailer that compared it to Saving Private Ryan. I wouldn't go that far, but this is definitely this movie works on all the levels it wants to go for. And I think that all falls, well, the actors definitely, but all in all, it all falls on Peter Berg, who is, I very much commend him for making this. So, I mean, it's not like one of the best movies of the year or anything, but it's very good. So, I think that's one of the shortest reviews we've done yet.
Yeah.
This is about as long as the Thor video.
Yeah, I'd say so. And a little bit more cohesive and coherent than the Thor video was.
Yeah.
Got a lot of stuff coming in the coming weeks, actually. Found out today, actually, it's confirmed that Inside Llewyn Davis is coming January 10th. So we are getting it in Athens, and makes me think that Nebraska will be coming the week after. So there's a good chance we're going to have both Inside Llewyn Davis and Nebraska on the same day And Her is also
Her's-
coming
I think
later this month.
Her and August's wide releases, I think, are the 10th also.
Correct.
It's just a matter of if we get them.
We've got a Hercules movie next week.
There's a lot of movies scheduled for January 10th. I don't know how many of them we'll end up with.
We've got a lot of stuff we don't know what's going to happen. I know Ride Along's coming up in the next couple of weeks too.
Yeah, the 10th is one of these as well.
Yeah, so
Or no, the 10th is on Survivor.
when this movie comes out specifically. So a lot of movie reviews coming, and a lot of really good verses coming this year too. So keep tuned into those. And if you're following our awards coverage, and this kind of plays into it because it's actually getting some nominations, then you check those videos out as well. It's on the award show playlist, or you can check out the AJ's movie review playlist, or just the recent videos playlist.
I also didn't talk about Wahlberg. Wahlberg's really good in this too.
Yeah, you didn't mention Marky
He's
Mark at all.
actually he's actually rather secondary.
Really?
Until it gets to the part where, because they're all it's not like I'm Mark Wahlberg, I'm the leader, and no, that's the funny thing is people expect, you know, you got this big name with Mark Wahlberg, and he's the only name you see in the trailer and on the poster. The team leader is actually Ben Foster.
That's awesome.
So Wahlberg is just, they're all there. It's an ensemble until everything happens, and then he's saved by the villager. That's when Wahlberg really becomes the star of it.
Okay.
So, yeah, to go along with that, equal, one's not necessarily above the other. They're all a brotherhood kind of thing. So
Fair enough. So, definite recommendation to go check it out next week when it comes to your local Cineplex. Or if it's already out, then go check it out now. So, next week, I don't know what we're going to be reviewing yet. If I get forced into watching Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, then that video will come up next week with Hercules.
I hope they're not pissed that they didn't get, that they thought this video would be.
They're getting Lone Survivor early, so I think that this makes up for it. They're getting a movie that a lot of people are anticipating early, in lieu of getting PA this week. So I think it makes up for it in the long run. And who knows, maybe we'll end up getting seeing more screeners somehow. You never know.
So find out.
So any parting words for this very short video?
Yeah, I think that's it.